Blessed. I trust you are enjoying yourself on the ZOE Morning Show. Great discussions coming your way, from the newspaper review segments to social media, social issues to ZOE Today, and then lifestyle, where they just left off with reading, inculcating the habit of reading, very necessary. But interestingly, let me introduce my guest before I even ask him a question. Reverend Bernard Owusu Sechi is here. Surprisingly, the Sechi is spelled S-A-C-H-I-E. When I saw the name, I was skeptical how to pronounce it. I asked him and he said, it's a normal K-Y-I-E, or Y rather, I. And he said it's Sechi, but his spelling is a bit different. And I'm seeing it for the first time. Rev, you're welcome.
Thank you.
Wow, you've been here from as early as before 6, or maybe around 6 a.m.
Yes.
Wow. Tells me how time conscious you are.
I have friends who know me and have worked with me for some time, know that I keep to my time.
Right.
And that is me.
And it's part of success.
Thank you.
It's part of success.
Yeah. I learned it from, different areas.
Right.
And I've learned to inculcate it into my lifestyle.
When I see people with time consciousness, I respect them so much.
Thank
and
you.
Say I have best of regards for you, sir.
Thank you.
Regarding. All right. So Reverend Bernard Owusu Sechi is the AE Ghana team leader for African Enterprise. Yes. It's not a business entity, I've only hear enterprise, mostly business comes to mind. But they are on a project actually, and is focusing on a Kropon, a Kriapim, Kriapim state. For now, and they are doing Christ-centered churches, transforming communities and culture. That's the caption of the project. Christ-centered churches, transforming communities and culture. So today on the Body of Christ segment of ZOE Morning Show, we are discussing this. We're talking about this. We would know the details, what is it about, why, and when is it happening, and all of that. Every details regarding this project, Reverend Bernard Owusu said she would help us do that. And so those who are watching from that particular area, the Kropon state, would get to join. Even people from Accra will get to join to make it a reality. So Rev, first of all, but I want to ask a question from the previous segment. Yes. The man said, he made reference to one anomaly we all have come to understand. He said, if you want to hide something from a black man, keep it in a book. Yeah. I think that was 20 years ago. From 20 years down.
I think so, because that shouldn't have been. Because even if you look at, our forefathers, I believe that they were very intelligent.
Right.
They were very intelligent. They had their own way of
learning.
Knowing and learning things. So yes. But because we have become lazy, and that is how come, a friend of mine one time told me, he's a French, and he says, Ghanaians were lazy. Whoa. Because he can speak English.
And I
struggle to speak French. And he said that your neighbors, we are all French speaking.
Yes.
So I think the problem has to do with the whole issue of mentality. We need to change, of course, to help all
and inculcate the habit of reading. Okay, so if your kids are home, just encourage them to read more. Read. But what they should read is very key as well. What they should read is very key. All right. So, Rev, what is about? First of all, let's talk about African Enterprise. Okay. Then we will come to Christ-centered churches, transforming communities and culture.
African Enterprise, like you rightly said. When you hear the name for the first time, you think it's a business entity. So I keep telling people, don't come to me for iron rods.
You don't deal in iron rods.
No, we don't sell cement. But it's a Christian organization that started in 1962 in South Africa by Michael Cassidy. Wow. And then the Ghana office started in 1995 by Honorable Reverend Dr. Nia Modako. Okay. So what we do basically is to work in partnership with churches to do evangelism. So we reach out to people and we win them for Jesus Christ. Wow. But we use what we call a stratified approach to evangelism. And the stratified simply means when you go to a city, you try to group the people according to their strata. Okay. And then you minister to them in a language they understand, so they can relate to your message. Amazing. You don't lump them together. I'm a pastor, but I really pity pastors when they are preaching from the pulpit, because in the pulpit you have lawyers, you have doctors, you have market women and all that. So when you are drawing your application of your message, and for instance, if you want to talk about corruption and You see, to the market woman, you need to talk about tomatoes, the rotten tomatoes.
Yes.
But if it is about the judge, you need to talk about maybe the goat.
Exactly.
So if you forget to mention the goat, that
you are in trouble.
Lawyer will say, you see the tomatoes woman, we are telling you to change. Yeah, so but the stratified approach brings people together, and because they belong to one class, you speak a language that they understand, and it helps. So that is what we do. That is what.
Okay, so that's African Enterprise.
Yes.
Amazing, amazing. Right. So you are the Ghana team leader.
Yes.
For the AE stands for
African Enterprise.
African Enterprise. Oh, wow! I lost that.
No problem.
That was unsmart about me. Don't mind me. So African Enterprise Ghana team leader, Reverend Bernard Owusu said he's here. Okay, so when is this one happening? The Christ-centered churches transforming communities and culture. We will talk about that. But when is it happening?
Yeah, it's actually coming on the 18th up to the 30th of
May.
October.
Oh, wow!
Yes.
Wow.
But before, we have series of activities that we do. In fact, we just finished with one program that brought together about 300 people, church leaders and pastors.
Okay.
And we call that one evangelism training conference. Because if you want to work with people, you need to equip them.
Okay.
And one way of equipping is training.
Right.
So we decided to do the training. And coming May, from the 14th up to the 16th of May, we are going to do another training in Akropong.
Okay.
And we call that one training of trainers. Because we want them to go back into their churches to train as many church members.
They will be equipped with training.
Yes.
So train the trainers means those who are going to train must be trained.
That's the point.
Amazing.
And then they go back into their churches to train the church member. Because at the end of the day, the stratified approach, the focus of it is that you don't focus on one powerful preacher.
Okay.
That has been the trend. In fact, when we talk about open-air campaigns, especially the one they call crusade, people usually focus on one powerful preacher.
Okay.
So you bring people together and they are all looking at one powerful preacher. But we are saying that, well, that is it. You can do that. But if you want to fulfill the Great Commission, then every church member must be a preacher.
Wow.
Not necessarily a pulpit preacher, but should be able to share his or her testimony.
Wow.
Tell somebody about Jesus Christ.
Wow.
But to be able to do that, you train them.
Amazing.
And that is why we are training teachers who will go to the churches.
Wow. I'm clapping my hands for this. Is a great project, and it needs full support. All right. So how has the response been like so far?
Amazing. Amazing. I mean, and it's very amazing, but also I can understand why it is gathering that momentum, because Kwiapem has a history.
Yes.
A history of the missionaries, involvement with the whole of
exactly. They did a lot of reception. They received a lot of this.
It's like we are, rekindle the fire.
Right.
That they already know.
Right. What really? Thank you for another point. What really quench the fire, the missionary fire?
I think at a point maybe complacency.
Okay, that's another topic for discussion some other day. But let's focus on Christ-centered churches transforming communities and culture.
Yes.
Earlier on, we were discussing with Pastor B. We were discussing. We wanted to focus on culture because when we mention culture, we believe that some fetish stuff and comes in there. Right. So we want to use Christ to invade the culture of communities.
Yes.
And I'm sure that is what you want to do.
And the reason why we said Christ-centered churches is the fact that the churches themselves must be Christ-centered.
Right.
You cannot give what you don't have. So if we want to go into a culture to bring transformation that will reflect the image of Jesus Christ, then those going to do it must themselves reflect that image.
Amazing.
And so the first thing is to focus on the churches, to make sure that the churches themselves are Bible-based.
Christ-centered.
They are Christ-centered.
Wow.
Then they can go into the culture, into the community, and bring transformation. Culture is dynamic, and it's changing. In fact, Ghana, we can talk about different forms of culture, that has changed over the years. But the problem is that if it is changing and nobody guides it, it rather changes into the negative. Okay? We know some cultures have actually changed into homosexuality and other. Which is also another debate.
Debate actually.
So if our cultures are changing it must be guided. And as Christians, we believe that the gospel is the guiding principle.
Okay, so in guiding the change of our culture, you believe that it is the Christ way.
The Christ way that must guide it. And that is why first the churches themselves must know the Bible, and then they must carry the message, which is the gospel, into the communities. And as they win people for Jesus Christ, whatever mentality they have, there will be a transformation.
Praise God. Praise God. Like I said earlier on, this is a great project, and we thank God we connected to Mrs. Kuma and to Pastor Abeku. You came here to share this with us. It's amazing. When you get to the community, apart from the churches, which other bodies or agencies do you really connect and collaborate with?
Okay. We have what we call a holistic approach to our evangelistic effort.
Holistic. W-H-O-L, right?
Yeah, because we believe that the total man must really be transformed. So you look at the spiritual side and the physical need of man.
Okay.
So we don't only preach the gospel, but we also make sure that their social needs are taken care of.
Wow.
And that brings us to a project we call Street Kids Project.
Okay, so mentioning that, there's a tape, there's footage actually on that. That footage would explain more what Rev is saying. I mean, explaining in words sometimes gets a bit boring, but when we are seeing a picture and a video, it helps me. Friends, kindly, if the footage is ready, let's please watch the video. All right, so we're still preparing the video for us to get, but again, Street Kids Project, SKP, SKP. I love to do abbreviations, you know.
I like
so, yes. Do you have particular street you focus on, or anywhere, any street you focus?
Any street, but not every child on the street. We have a particular child that we look out for, who has a guardian or a parent.
Okay.
Because we don't have a place to keep them.
Okay, for now.
So it's an apprenticeship program.
Okay.
We pick them from the street and we give them to trainers, artisans. Like.
Oh, well, sorry to cut you. It means that the kids on the street, they vary. They come. I mean, there are differences.
There are different types of them.
So there are kids who actually have parents, but have chosen to.
Some who actually don't have a place to lay their head. We have some who are on their own. Nobody is thinking about them.
Right.
And we have some who actually live with people. They have guardians. So at the end of the day, they go back home.
Okay.
So we cannot go for those who do not have anybody. We have other organizations taking care of those people. But for us, because we are not going to house them, we need to pick those who already have accommodation.
But we are hoping that there will be an extension of your project so that the other kids funds and support and donors. All right, so if you are watching us and hearing this, Rev and his team have the heart to keep these street children and train them. So if you some way can support, we're not actually taking money, we are soliciting for funds to support this worthy cause. All right, I'm told the video is ready. Let's watch the video. When we are back, we'll finalize on that.
I'm from poor family. My life was very bad. When I completed school, I don't even know what to do then.
I have to struggle on the street because I have single parents. I heard about African Enterprise. I saw their flyers out there on the streets, so they came to our church and introduced about African Enterprise.
African Enterprise Street Children Apprenticeship Program is all about rescuing children or young adults from the ages of 16 to 24 who have lost hope, who are from very poor homes, who have no hope in future. This is where African Enterprise comes in to give them a skill or a vocation. And we finance their tuition into all these places for about a period of 3 years. Some of them are into, others are into mechanic, and then we have the sewing, tailoring. We have so many people, so many children on the streets. We go there, we talk to them. We find out where their background and those things are, and when we see the need, then as part of the mission, we help them into a vocation. We have dedicated businessmen and women who are part of AE, then they have links to other businessmen and women. So they also help them to get a place to start their own life.
When we brought them, they wouldn't have any hope in their lives. So when we started giving them training, they realized that they have something within them. So it means they have a bright future.
As you can see, I can design a lot. Men's shirts, women's dress, a lot. My future look like a big designer in the whole world.
Me being here has been a good experience, and I've learned a lot. For now, I can make a lot of design, so for myself, my family, and out there. The Bible said, He will lead you to the righteous place. So God has led me here and has made my life brighter. So I can see my life is very perfect now.
After their training, what we do is we give them what we call the seed money. We also help them financially to establish themselves.
African Enterprise is so much mission. See, I'm many agents. My metafalco, I'm missing me. Maybe a shop. I'm a
because of where we took them from, they had no hope in life. They're on the streets. Some of them might turn up to be armed robbers, to be thieves. So all that we do, we are praying that more support will come for us to be able to bring all these street children to a vocation.
Okay, so evangelizing the cities of Africa through word and deed.
That's it.
And in partnership with the churches. Amazing project. If you just watch the tape, I'm sure you have been inspired, you have been motivated and encouraged to take the steps in helping the needy one way or the other. You and I have the means, no matter how small or big it is. Let's contribute our quota in bringing these people to the right path, which is the path of Christ. That's what Reverend and his team are doing in Ghana in partnership with African Enterprise. Like we said earlier on, it's not a business entity. They don't sell iron rods, they don't sell cement, they don't sell POPs. They preach the word of God in word and in deed, actually. Right, so that's a great project you have there. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you.
Congratulations. And we pray for more grace and more support to make this one more broadened to people to come on board. All right, so let's wrap up. Yeah. When you go to a Kropon in October, how many people are you looking at?
In terms of how many people are we going to work with?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
As many as possible, but of course,
so there's no limit.
I need to be definite. We are looking not less than 500 volunteers.
Okay.
We already have about 5 international evangelists who are coming.
Okay.
And we have volunteers who have been working with us over the years, but we're also recruiting volunteers from the churches in the Kropon. So far, we have 54 churches that have signed on to participate. And so we are encouraging them to do the training. And as they do the training, they will be able to get volunteers for us.
Amazing.
Now, these volunteers, within the period of about 13 days, we are going to deploy them. So every corner must hear the gospel.
Wow.
Some are going to go to schools. They are going to go to marketplaces. We are going to bring, leaders in the community together. Sometimes, depending on the resources that we have, we bring even traditional leaders together.
Okay.
That is what they call the Structify. So you group them. Dressmakers, beauticians. I mean, we would reach out to everybody.
Wow.
Even government establishments, we send letters to them to say, can we come and have lunch hour meeting with you? If they give their doors, we go there to share the gospel.
Amazing.
That is how we do it.
Amazing.
And all the ghettos, we are going to reach out to them.
I mean, I love this already. But however you started this, man,
so you people are invited.
This is a great one. This is a great one.
you must be there.
I will be there. I will be there. I will be there. Wow, that's a great one, and we need such projects in our generation today that will pioneer the preaching of the gospel with churches actually, and they are not interested in making money for their pocket, but to transform lives however they get them. So African Enterprise, Reverend Bernard Owusu Sechi, the Ghana team leader, on the project Christ-Centered Churches Transforming Communities and Culture. We will have this transformation through Christ Jesus as we preach him. So I'll give Reverend some few minutes to do a closing comment and then.
Yeah, I was just going to say that we as a Christian organization and a parachurch organization, we see ourselves as a midwife. Our business is to help the mother, which is the church, to bring forth a baby.
Wow.
But the midwife is not going to keep the child unless the midwife is a thief. Okay? So at the end of the day, you give the baby back to the church.
Wow.
I am saying it so that churches who are partnering with us
or
will
be assured,
will not be afraid, because a lot of the pastors are very skeptical. They are not sure what is going to happen.
Right.
But we promise that we don't keep the baby.
Wow.
We give the baby back to them.
Wow. And even as the baby gets back to them, fully matured and now nourished.
That is the point. It is the mother's responsibility to make sure that the baby grows. And that is why we give them the necessary tools, the training, and the books that will help them. And